welcome from my part to this Instagram Live. Good to have you here. We are here at the library of the UniArts Helsinki Theatre Academy. That's quite a mouthful. And I'm going to be your host today. I'm Petteri Lassila. I'm studying here in the school in the master's program for acting, and I have two amazing students with me here telling you about the application process to the school, and we're going to be answering any questions you might have about the application process or what it's like to study here. So please feel free to send any questions you might have. And just some hard facts in the beginning. The application period is going to be from the 3rd of January until the 17th of January. And on the last date ends at 3 p.m. on Eastern European time, so that's Finnish time. And all of the information that we're going to cover here is also going to be available at the uniarts.fi/apply. So please feel free to send any questions you might have. But yeah, would you like to introduce yourselves as well as we start?
Yes. So my name is Estrella, and I'm currently in the MA choreography cohort that just started this year, and will be here till spring 2025.
Yeah, my name is Chen. Nice to see you all, and I'm studying in the same program.
That's great. So, where do you come from, and what inspired you to apply to UniArts Helsinki?
Yeah, I'm currently living in Helsinki for the last 2 years already, but I come from Israel. I applied to UniArts Helsinki, because I really love to be here, to live here, and I got inspired from the nature and from the people. And I was looking to deepen my research and choreography path, from writing also and reading, and to understand more my own visuals and how do I see choreography. So this is why I applied.
That's great.
So I moved from the US, but I was living in Portugal right before the program started. And I think my motivation is similar to Hans in terms of like needing a place to incubate my ideas and have a longer stretch of time to also filter what I've already done in the past as well, to kind of see where I want to go in the future. And yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Had you heard anything about the school before? Like, how did you find out about the school? Or did you have any friends who recommended the school to you? Or what was the first time you heard about the UniArts? Do you remember?
I had heard of the school, but it was through a friend who they sent me the open call, but I hadn't done any research until that point. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about the school actually from a family member that was studying here in the past. So she recommended really much about this school, and this is why I also applied. So yeah, I was curious to see how this program of choreography will be here, and I researched, studied about it a bit, and then
Yeah, that's fascinating, because I had heard about the school myself, being a Finn, but then I was actually living in the US as well. And then I was FaceTiming my Finnish friend, and she told me about this specific program. I didn't even know that it was a pretty new one, the one that they started, that I'm studying right now. So that's cool. So how about Helsinki or Finland? Did you have any preconceptions? Well, you said that you had already lived here for 2 years, but maybe even when you came here, and any thoughts? It's pretty dark right now in Helsinki, but we're getting some snow. But yeah, did you have any preconceptions?
I mean, I think for me, there was something about the culture being introverted was something that came up, which I found it was a characteristic of the culture or society that interested me, actually, as someone who also is a bit kind of introverted, or it depends on the situation. But that was one thing, definitely, like the intensity of the winters as something to kind of watch out for, prepare for. But I think being here now and moving through it now, I feel like there is, for me, an alignment in terms of what I'm looking for and needing in my life in terms of like what a geography can provide for me. I feel like it's, yeah, I'm getting some things and other things are missing, like any place, but it's, yeah, I think it's becoming like a nest for now.
Yeah, for me, I've heard a lot about the cold because I come from really like dry and hot weather, and then I was really scared about this change. But then, yeah, I learned to love it and to buy really good clothes and hat and gloves. So yes, yeah, about the culture, I think I had a lot of thoughts, and it took time to understand what is this culture and how do I relate to it. And it was really interesting to go through this in the past 2 years that I'm here.
Yeah, as our Norwegian friend said, there's no such a thing as bad weather, but bad clothing. So has you kind of answered this already maybe, but have your any of your preconceptions changed now since you moved here, or kind of stayed the same? Had you heard about, just out of curiosity, had you heard about like the Finnish introvertedness like before, or was it something you kind of found out before? And
Yeah. Definitely before, like through other people who had been moving around the Nordic region.
Yeah.
But I think with this question, it's kind of tricky because I think it'll take the whole time that I'm here to answer that, I think, fully, but...
Yeah.
For me, I have like a partner that is half Finnish. So actually, by living here, I feel like I really can understand him more. And this is really nice because, yeah, I think it's really interesting place to be in and interesting culture. And I think about the seasons, like something that I never thought of, but the seasons here are very strong. And I feel very connected to the changing of the seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that after spending 5 or 6 years in LA, which is basically just one season all the time. But there's something about being rooted and connected to the nature. If you're joining just now, welcome. We're doing a little Instagram live to ask any questions you might have about applying to the school. Please feel free to send any questions you might have. And just as I said before, the application period this time around is from the 3rd of January until the 17th of January. And so the actual student selections after that are held in April and May. And this time around in the English-speaking department, they're going to go through dance pedagogy, theater pedagogy, and directing, and acting in Swedish. And for dance and theater, the student selections are going to be at the Theater Academy. And then for directing, it's going to be online. And then if you're talar svenska, acting in Swedish is going to be both online and then at the Theater Academy. And then later in the year, admission results for these programs will be published on the 8th of May. But yeah, could you tell us a little more about the school itself, the facilities? Like, what is it like to rehearse here? And kind of, you were telling us about your artistic work, and how has it been to actually get to perform here?
I think we had just now the performance of the demo solos, and we performed in the studio. And for me, it was really nice to work in the studio, the same place that I will perform in. So it's a different kind of atmosphere. It's not like a theater-based performance. It's more like a demo. So yeah, I've got to get to know the place really like to a deeper level and to rehearse there. And yeah, I think it was a nice process.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think that there are a lot of spaces, and but I think there could be even maybe more space in the future as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some mic stuff that we're getting sorted out. That's fascinating. I actually heard about the demos. I just missed them myself, but I would love to hear more soon as we get that sorted out. Speaking from my perspective, we have I think 3 or 4 different theaters. Like we have one theater and then different studios that we have here, and then lots of classrooms. And then I don't know if you guys have gotten to use them a lot yet, but we even have like singing classes and that kind of
Right.
singing classrooms with pianos and stuff. But that's probably
Yeah.
not something you get to use as much.
Yeah.
Everything started out sweet. Out of curiosity, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I would love to hear more about the demos that you actually got to do. Would you like to tell a little bit about that process and how did those performances go?
Yeah, we spent about 4 weeks or so, each of us kind of on our own, developing works around a specific question or theme, and then we decided that we would share the works in 3 consecutive nights. And I think it literally happened last week, so we're still, or I feel like I'm still digesting and processing what some of the information that the audience gave to us, but it definitely felt good to kind of share a bit of like the internal landscape, or my internal landscape. That felt good. Or I feel like it grounded me more to being here in a way.
Yeah, for me, I really agree with what you say, and maybe I can add that it was the first experience of performing in this, Finnish culture and Finnish audience as well. So for me, it was a bit exciting because I don't know anyone almost. So it was nice to experience this and to have a different audience in the room. Different atmosphere that what I used to have before. The process was nice, very intense, full time. We spent a lot of hours in the studio. We were like rehearsing kind of alone, but then we had a meeting with all the group together and with the professors. So it was like really rich process, and I'm very thankful for this.
Yeah.
today.
Looks like we have our first question from the live. How is it like for a non-EU citizen to apply? And what are their language, well, maybe we can start from there. But are there, well, yeah, that's the question number 1. And then what are the language requirements, tuition fees, and immigration opportunities? That's a lot of questions, but, but maybe, at least for me, about the language requirements, all applicants are asked to demonstrate their language skills in the language of instruction. And the language proficiency can be demonstrated with previous education, an accepted language test, or other previous studies. And more information is in this can be found from the admissions guide. And those can be program specific. And then you can also find more info about the tuition fees from a link in the chat. But yeah, how was it for you? I don't know if it really differs. Did you have any, as being.
Yeah, personally I have also EU passport, so maybe you can answer about this. But maybe I can add about the English test because I took it. So maybe one thing that is important to do and to know in advance, that you need some time in advance to plan it and to prepare for the test, because it's kind of, it takes time. And then maybe this is one tip that I have to share with who is need to do the test, like to take some time to plan it well and to know where I can take the exam, because it takes time.
Yeah.
And the question is how.
Yeah, like how was it like for a non-EU citizen to apply?
Yeah, I mean, I think, or I acknowledge that having a US passport, I think for me facilitated the process. Like I think I'm also personally, like I like creating to-do lists, but I feel like the Migri website and things like that were kind of, they outlined the step-by-step process of obtaining the residency permit and things like that. But the actual application process itself for the choreography program I found also pretty everything was already kind of dictated on the website. So it's all available for anyone to read and kind of prepare ahead of time, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was helpful
Yeah.
to have the information and the advanced assignments and all of that already available. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you both are absolutely right on that. The preparation really is the key for the whole thing, and it's good to acknowledge that not only the language test, but all the assignments and forms take time, and all the programs have different advanced assignments, and the deadline for those are actually 24th of January at 3 p.m. But all this, as we're saying, a lot of this info and all of it can be found from uniarts.fi/apply. Just wanted to double check that I didn't miss anything else from the. Yeah, were there any tuition fees?
For me, no. I think only the English test you need to pay
Yeah.
some amount
Yeah.
in order to.
Do you
do
remember
the test.
how much? What, like ballpark?
No,
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's something.
But I'm sure that in the website,
Yeah.
in the UniArts website, you can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, no tuition fees for me either, but I think it's program specific.
Yeah.
So everyone should check out the specificity of
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah. And have there been any immigration opportunities? I don't know if maybe it means, have you, is there like a work permit, or have you found any work opportunities as you've been here, or getting, also like part of, if you study in Finland, I'm curious about this actually, but like the Finnish students get like student support. Is that something that you've been able to receive as well?
Because I was living here before, and I registered before I was a student, so now I get the support, yes. But
Yeah.
I feel like it takes time, and I don't know if you come to Finland only for being a student, so maybe it's something different that you
Yeah.
need to apply for, and then I don't know how much time it takes until you get any support. Yeah, maybe you can say a bit.
I think the only opportunities work-wise that have arisen have been through the institution. We're actually both also student ambassadors, and that is something that is I don't know what you would call it, but it's kind of like it's not it's a super part-time job, but I think that there are opportunities like this for non-Finnish citizens or non-EU folks to tap into. But I think, like Hen is saying, once one moves to the degree, I think maybe more opportunities open up, or that's what I've heard from alumni who have graduated from our program.
Yeah.
So things also take time, I think.
Yeah, things take time, and also to take into consideration that at least our program is full-time. So we don't have a lot of time to work.
Yeah.
So this is important to say. So maybe part-time jobs or jobs that are, I don't know, based on your free time, only in vacation, maybe something like this more
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're joining us now, welcome. We're having a little Instagram live here, and please feel free to keep sending any questions you might have to our live chat. And yeah, I would love to ask if you remember, what do you remember about your application process? How was that like?
Or like, I don't want to remember.
It was. I don't want to. It was a long process. It
was
was
long.
a long
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
took a lot of time and a lot of investment. I think that in the beginning I thought it would be easy, but then it took for me a lot of time, investment, but it was interesting process for me. Yeah, I enjoyed it in the end, but it took all of my time.
Yeah, I agree. And something about the application process, I think, revealed for me, like, am I ready to do this kind of academic labor activity? But then also, I think it gave me an understanding of how the inner composition of the program would be as well. and I was doing a residency at the same time, so somehow the assignments, they didn't feel like assignments because I was already kind of working on material. But if I hadn't, I think it might have been a bit more challenging to just kind of like come up with things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and maybe I can add, because I was applying for 2 programs. One is the choreography and the other one is the dance performance.
Oh, nice,
So
yeah.
it was in the same time. So this is why I had a lot of to prepare. And then maybe also what you are saying is like, it's very true that you can have a sense of what this program will be, like what is the style. If it fits you also. I think you can really see from the application process, from the exams, from the professors, you can really feel if it's for you or not. So this is important as well.
I think for me, I'm trying to remember my own process. I think you had to send like all the necessary info of like my previous education, because we're all going through a master's program. So what the bachelor's degree was about. I remember we had to send in this might be an acting thing, but a 1-page long story of your life, basically, in 1 page. So that was interesting. So not everything was necessarily, at least for us, like very, I don't know, like long essays or anything, but something that you really need to dig into, like, well, what kind of life did you have? And like what I really encourage you to do as well is to like look into the courses. That's something we had to do, to look like what kind of course do they have. And that's a good way I would recommend in getting sense of what is it like to study here as well, what kind of teachers, as you were saying, what kind of teachers we have and what do they have to offer. And then also what can I bring to the table as a student as well? Yeah.
Yeah, and now I remember that I was really contacting with different students that already finished to study here, to get also a sense about what it's all about and how it was for them. So to hear more from the students about the program itself.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm reading minds. Someone asked, can you tell an example of an advanced assignment? But do you remember any of the advanced assignments?
I feel like one of them that I'm remembering was to send in like a video recording of describing a previous work that I've made. And then I think
Other one was like to prepare an essay and to write about your interests and to give examples of people that you are looking into and some references. Then the last one was kind of a couple thing. So everything was on Zoom, and we had to read some long article in advance and then to speak about it with a couple, like with each other. And we didn't know each other, and it was on Zoom. So this was the last assignment, actually. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating.
And in the other program was like something that I needed to learn a solo from a video and then to film myself dancing this solo. So different kind of forms of assignments, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably good to name that they will change every intake cycle. They will be different.
Yeah.
Advanced assignments, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you kind of answered this already. Someone is asking about auditions. Did it require traveling to Helsinki? So I assume not for this one.
No, but I fortunately had the money at the time, and I felt like even after getting the acceptance, I had to come in person to feel out the energy of the people and the land and all of this, and I think that solidified my yes. But I'm grateful that it was all over Zoom, because if I didn't have the funding, then I wouldn't have,
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, I needed that extra piece to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, because it makes a difference to be able to like be in the place, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. If you have the financial opportunity, that's something I really recommend as well, just to come and enjoy Finland and see what Helsinki and the school is like as well. You can come and check out the school building as well. About the auditions, I think for For dance pedagogy and theater pedagogy, the student selections are at the Theater Academy. And then for directing, student selections are held online. And then for acting in Swedish, the student selections are online and at the Theater Academy. That's what I went through as well. First we had stuff online, then I had to send in videos, and then 12 of us were invited here, and then they made the final call. And if you get through the whole process, then the admission results for these programs will be published on May 8th, 2024. How was that for you to see your name in there? Because not that many people
I
probably.
think that's the hardest part.
This
Yeah.
is so funny because
It's the hardest part.
Yeah, I didn't know that it's gonna be published online on the website, and then someone texted me, "Hey, like congratulations!" And I didn't know that I got in, and this was really funny.
Oh, that's
then
funny.
I googled it and like see my name. It was
That's so cute.
it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. But for you, no.
No, I mean it's because I have Estrella as my preferred name, so I saw my legal name and I was like, who is that? And so I kind of forgot. Anyways, so
Yeah.
it took me like a second to kind of remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I was expecting an email. The email came like way later.
Yeah.
But then that's why it was tricky.
Yeah, that happened to me too. I think it was like 11 a.m. finish time. No, it was like 9 a.m. finish time, but I was in LA, which was like 11 p.m. So I had to stay up all that time, and then I couldn't find the the right place, and then someone emailed me. I was like, oh, I got spoiled. But actually, I remember that some people didn't give permission to show your name to the website. So if that's something you prefer not to do, you can. Absolutely do that. Yeah. What we were kind of talking about the advanced assignments. How many stages do you have? Like, did you have multiple? Like, first you had to send in the paperwork, maybe, and then did you have like video things, and then like the live Zoom audition?
I think it was maybe three
Yeah.
stages.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And is it just the two of you studying at the program, or how many are you in the?
We are
dance?
five.
Five.
Five
Okay.
of us.
Got it. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And we have another question. Can you tell about what is it? Can you tell about what is the role of solo work during studies? And yeah, let's go do that first.
This
That's
is
a great question.
it's a
We
great
were just
question.
talking about it today too,
Yeah,
actually.
we asked the same.
Yeah, we send the question back now. I want to say it depends. I think for me, for example, I love solo work because I feel like I like to be the creator of the boundaries of what wants to unfold. And sometimes with group work, you have to have a bit more of a consensus model. But I think from what I heard today, this solo work is in preparation for a group work that we're devising in this coming spring. But I don't know how you feel.
For me, it was a bit like to expose something else about yourself that is not really usual being exposed. So, as I said, people don't really know me here. So it was an opportunity just to show something that is me on stage, and this is one layer of me, or many layers that I can hold. So yeah, also to see other people performing with their solos, I think it gave me a lot, like more information about them, or what they can bring on stage as a choreographer as well. To see it, it was really nice.
Yeah. Have you gotten to do any collaboration with other students, like let's say sound design or light design, or has it mainly been just, for instance, in the solos that you worked on, or did you kind of get to do it all by yourself, or was there collaboration there?
It's coming.
It's coming. Nice.
Or
Yeah.
literally, like this week, we're starting this collaborative process where we get to work with a team of comprised of a sound designer, lighting designer, scenographer, dramaturg, and performer. So like kind of like a full-on orchestra of people. But the solos were...
The solo were like low-key productions, so
Yeah.
we needed to handle this ourselves.
Yeah. All the three of us started, correct me if I'm wrong, we all started like in August,
Yeah.
right? So we've been studying here for a couple of months. So we're also getting to experience all this as it comes in. But that's like for me, like one of the really cool things about the school is that when we are doing different projects, then we get to collaborate with the different students. So like, and we just had a class that was a collaboration with the University of Tampere and then the University of Oslo, called the style. The difference, we were kind of going through the different theater styles, and there we had directing students and someone from the Swedish-speaking department. And the Swedish-speaking department is also having the applications open very soon. And can you tell us another question? What is the access to facilities like?
We have access to all the studios, actually, most of them. The theater, not so much still, but we will have in this coming project. AV, it's accessible. I think if we need something, we just ask and then we see. Costume, I think we can have most of the time if it's connected to production. Yeah, I think in general you just ask the person that is charged, like, hey, I want to do this and this. Can I use this and this? And then you see.
Nice.
Yeah. I find it really helpful just to try.
Yeah. There is also like an app called Tuudo that you can use. And I think from there you can actually make reservations for different rooms, whether it's like a singing classroom or dance department or anything. And you can see where all the schedules go, and be like, hey, there's a little slot open between 9 to 11, and that will give me time to go and rehearse then. What kind of extracurricular activities do you have?
I feel like like outside of the program, are there any activities that...
NCP counts? Or this is more like collaborate? NCP is really nice, I think, but it's in our program that we can meet with other choreography programs from the Nordic countries.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
In those 2 years that we are studying, we will visit those places like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and here.
Nice.
So then it's also a collaboration, but also I think kind of outside activity in one way. Then you get to know more people that are working in the same field.
So have you started that already?
Yeah.
Nice. So
in September.
September, did you go somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we went to Copenhagen.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was incredible. And then like our 5-person cohort expanded to like 17 people. And it's nice because then we'll see them again in March in Oslo, and then once per semester. And I think for me that was one of the reasons I said yes to the program, actually, was this international exchange moment.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So they're going to be coming to Helsinki as well at some point?
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. Do you have mentoring programs?
Mentoring.
I feel like maybe again it's program specific.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking about the one-on-ones that we had with Kirsi and Jana, as maybe it's program specific. And essentially we had throughout the solo process maybe like 4 to 5 one-on-one meetings where we got to exchange about the work we're developing and kind of get some references and just keep kind of watering the work. But I don't know if your program, for example.
Yeah, we have something called, in Finnish the term would be an acting godmother or godfather. Basically, you, to my knowledge, it could be any actor or actress who's on the field or who has graduated from the school, I believe, and then they give you their contact info, and then they know how it works apparently, and you just go and ask them like, hey, would you be my acting godmother or godfather? And then it's really up to you and them, like, how do you want the mentoring to go? But yeah, for instance, for me, like we met for lunch, and then we're planning on going to see a theater show together, and then you can invite them to come and see your shows here, or any kind of questions you might have about the industry or anything, but however that's going to look like. Yeah, if you're joining just now, we're just in the middle of a conversation here at the UniArts Helsinki Theatre Academy, and please, thank you so much for all the wonderful questions, and you can keep them. You can keep them coming. Are you involved with alumni? You mentioned something about alumni. You.
Yeah. Well, you were saying in preparation during the application process, right? That you were.
Oh yeah,
reaching out to
yeah.
people.
I was reaching out to people that already studied here to ask about the different programs, because I was very curious to get to know the program from the students. So yeah, I was just sending emails and asking, hey, can we have a small talk on the phone? I would like to hear a bit more about this and this and this. I had questions. So yeah.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah. But you haven't really been involved with them now during your studies, or?
No.
Not really.
Not
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we've had like guest speakers and previous students come and do a little talks and something like that, but other than that, not really. Oh, here's a fun question from someone. Can you do exchange studies?
Yes, you can.
You can.
Yes, you can. You need to ask about it.
Yeah.
I think everything that you have in mind, I would really encourage just to ask.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of opportunities, and you just need to reach a hand and to ask, hey, I thought about this. If you have something.
Yeah.
You will find the people that will help you. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with exchanging, I feel like the more advanced also the earlier that you know that you want to do that, the better, I think, and better to discuss with your department leaders, because I think it takes the deadlines for the application, there's specific things that I think have to happen. So yeah, I was thinking about it, but I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Probably you will need to speak with your professor, and then they will know more details about this.
Yeah. I know a lot of my students from our program are looking into it. I just spent 5 years in LA, so I don't really want to do that, I think, because it's just 2 years. That's another thing, time really flies. It's a 2-year program. We just started, but technically we've done 25% of the whole time here, right? So the time really flies. So you really can make the most of it. But I think there are different universities that the school is doing collaboration with, even with as you were saying that you're going to Copenhagen and Oslo and stuff. And a friend of mine, I think she's somewhere in Spain right now and doing a little different mask work. And so there really are a lot of cool opportunities. And I think the length also changes. You can do. Well, yeah, again, it really depends on it. You can look into it, but from 1 month to a couple of months, or maybe even a year. Yeah. But yeah, that's something to look into. Someone is asking, do you offer scholarships? They will be adding info about this on in the chat, but yeah, were you offered scholarships or?
No.
I was, and I don't think I could have done it without that.
Yeah.
But I think it's also program specific, and I think it depends.
Yeah.
I think during the application process, it asks if you want to be considered for it, and then
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's across the board, all of the university, or specific to ours. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of curiosity, do you I know you've just started, but have you thought about the future? Like after, is that something that you're thinking about? What would you like to do after you're graduated? Or is that something that you're already planning, or is that something that they are also coaching you with?
I'm thinking about it quite a lot. I don't have a clear answer, but I'm trying to continue working during my studies, although it's hard. So then I can have a future, you know, because you need to maintain kind of performances or working, I don't know. But I don't know still, yeah.
Yeah.
If it will be here or somewhere else, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, if I'm investing 2 years here, I feel like I would like to stay after the graduation happens, or to be between here and the States, or yeah, I think something where I can still remain present, I think is the ideal setup, but it's hard to know. There's so much influx all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Well, for us, like for all of us, it's only 2 years, as I was saying. So you kind of want to make the most of it and just focus on studying here. We had like a seminar just this last week where we had different alumni and actors and some theater directors come and tell us about their jobs and different job opportunities that there might be. Are there any kind of like what's the term? That you could go and work in an outside school project? Like for instance, in acting, they might like a theater might take a trainee actor in one of their productions and get paid. Is there any kind of collaboration like that professionally? Again, it probably depends on the.
I don't know. I didn't heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our program doesn't have this yet, but I know other programs do have like an internship, apprenticeship, but I don't think ours does.
Yeah. We have another question. What kind of student community do you have?
I don't know. I feel very lucky about our cohort, but maybe it's a luck. We spend a lot of time together, and we feel like, I don't know, I can speak about myself. I feel at home with my group, and we can speak about everything, and we drink and we go to bar after, and we see performances together. So this is really nice. The feeling of being student here with my group is really nice experience for me.
Yeah, I think this is a place where I would love to see more development and growth, because I do feel connected with my cohort and also with like the MA dance performance cohort. But I think outside of that, maybe it's the winter. I feel like it's a bit. I'm asking myself, what is the student body here? I think it's very easy to get like siloed into your program's vortex.
Yeah.
But I would love, I think there are events open to everyone or to all students, but I think maybe that's, I don't know, it feels a little bit hard in my opinion to bridge out, and maybe it's like my own work to do, but I think maybe also something could be done institutionally also, maybe to make that happen a bit more, perhaps. But yeah, it depends.
There was like an event for kurmoottajaiset. I don't even know how to translate that for you guys, but an event for for the new students that we had here. The second year students were.
Oh yeah.
That's where I think we were all there, and then now
first time.
that was like 2 months ago.
True.
And then
the evening with the
running
party
around.
and everything.
It was Matrix themed.
It was amazing.
Different
actually.
theme every year.
Nice. It was nice.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But I agree. I think it might be sometimes hard to, or easy to kind of be sucked into the vortex of your own group. But those kind of events are not. And now I believe next Saturday there's like Christmas party.
Christmas.
True. So there are parties.
So there are some
parties.
Some.
So yeah, and I believe it's Inferno themed. So I gotta get my suit ready. I don't even know what to go with that, but anyway.
And also it makes sense because our program is so full, like I don't have any free
Yeah.
time, so it's also
There's a lot
how
of
to-
energy management.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that was a question someone else asked. What's your social life like outside of studies? Do you have such a thing?
Now in the winter, I feel it's really hard to
It's
go
hard.
outside, but we must do it because it saves our being to be with people and to spend time. I don't know, I have my partner here and our dog, so I invest also in this, my private time, so how to balance between this. Social life, yeah.
It's emergent. I would say that in this past month in November, there were also like 30 festivals happening.
Yeah, true.
And they will keep happening every November. In February, there's another performance festival. So I think for me, there is stuff there. I'm surprised by the like scope of things happening within the performing arts, but also in museums. If you want to tap into that, like, there are also like club spaces available. I haven't been to them yet, but they are there if you want that.
And also the summer here is crazy. It's crazy. People are awake 24/7, many festivals. It's amazing. The atmosphere in the summer is very unique. And yeah, I can't wait to to have the summer already. But yeah.
I know, yeah.
You know.
People really bloom, like in the summer they come out of
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
caves.
Yeah.
We still have a couple more minutes, so if you have any more questions, please feel free to send them. We'll be ending soon. But I think that's something to be like for myself too, like I'm a Finn, but I moved back here, so it might be I would just remind everyone to be merciful to yourself, because it's a culture shock anywhere you move into, and it takes time to get settled in and get used to everything. But I just wanted to remind you guys of some info. So the application period is from the 3rd of January until the 17th of January. And it ends on the 17th of January at 3 p.m. Eastern European time, which is Finnish time. And the student selections are going to be held in April and in May. And you can find all this info from the uniarts.fi/apply as well. And we're going to be, they're going to have admissions on dance, theater, directing, and acting. And like you were saying, all applicants are asked to demonstrate their language skills, but all this info will be there. Anything else that you wanted to add, or?
I think I would just say to definitely not reach out to students who have done the program that you're interested in, but also don't be afraid to reach out to the professors as well, because I think a big part of my decision-making process involved speaking to them as well, to kind of really get a sense of, again, how does this person kind of operate in the world? How do they speak? Am I inspired? Am I not? And I think all of that helped me create like a bigger picture. So definitely, and the emails are always available on the website, so just connect.
And reach out to people and ask, how is this? Like, don't be afraid to just reach out and ask every question that you have, because to move to another country for 2 years, it's a big thing. And then, as many questions. For me, it was very helpful to understand more. What does it mean to live in Finland or to study here?
Yeah, I would so agree with that. That's one of my favorite things about the school, is that all the professors are really passionate about this, and they really care. Like, you really get the sense that they really care for you, and about the other students as well. I think sometimes it's a fun feeling having like 5 passionate students being put in the same room, but it really is special, and I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, I think that's our time. But thank you so much, Chen and Estrella, for chatting with me. And if you have any other questions, you can find all the info from the website, but you can also feel free to send any emails. And this, if you're watching live, this is also getting recorded, so you will find this recording on YouTube as well. But yeah, from further ado, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.